Hi friends, welcome back to Coffin's Creation. Sometime back I had uploaded a video how to make butterfly patties. There were many queries regarding these, if these can be baked rather than deep fried, or can we store these in the freezer for later. So let's see the answers for all these queries in today's video. I've also made some changes in this recipe. So let's start with it. So we'll start by kneading the dough. For that I have taken 2 cups of Maida all-purpose flour and half a teaspoon of salt. It's good to sieve the flour to remove any impurities. And then once this is done, we'll be just adding 2 tablespoons of ghee. I have taken 2 tablespoons of melted ghee. You can also use butter or oil in the same quantity. I'll just rub the flour with the ghee till we get a nice sand-like texture. This is an important step as it makes the patties nice and crispy. So rub it well. You know the flour is done when you squeeze some of it into your hand, it forms a lump. So now we'll start kneading this with some water. I have just taken 150 ml of water, that's room temperature water. I'll add the water gradually and knead this into a dough. We won't be adding all the water, just add it gradually till you get a dough that is not too soft or not too hard. So after kneading for a minute, the dough is ready. And you can check it that when you press it, it's not too hard or not too soft. We will let the dough rest for half an hour. And in the meantime, let's prepare the corn flour paste that we need to spread between the sheets. So I have taken 3 tablespoons of corn flour and 2 tablespoons of melted ghee again. You can use dalda or butter as well. So just mix it well till you get a lump-free paste. We'll keep this aside for some time and go ahead with preparing the mince filling. To prepare the mince filling, I have taken 1 tablespoon of ghee. We can also use 1 tablespoon of oil in place of the ghee. Next add 1 bay leaf, 3 to 4 cloves and 8 to 10 peppercorns. We'll also be adding half a teaspoon of jeera, that is cumin seeds. We will just fry this till the jeera splutters. And then we'll be adding 2 medium-sized onions, finely chopped, and 2 green chillies. That too is finely chopped. These are the spicy small green chillies. Mix that all well and we will cook the onions till they are soft and they start getting a little brown from the sides. You also need to keep stirring this in between so that it does not get burned. So now these onions are looking cooked well. I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. Mix that as well and we'll continue cooking till the rawness of the ginger and the garlic is gone. This mince recipe is a little bit different from the previously shared recipe. You can try that recipe as well. So now once the ginger garlic is cooked well, I'll be adding half a teaspoon of turmeric haldi powder, half a teaspoon of red chilli powder, 1 teaspoon dhanya, that is coriander powder. Mix all of it well and you can see that the masala is a bit dry. So we just add a little water, say a tablespoon, and mix it well so that the masala does not get burned. We need to keep the mince filling a bit dry, so we won't be adding any water in this recipe. So after stirring the masala for a minute, I'll be adding 250 grams of chicken mince. In place of chicken mince, you can use mutton or beef mince as well. I'm just mixing the chicken vigorously so that it does not form a lump. It separates well and mixes well with the masala too. So after mixing the chicken well, just to increase the juiciness of the chicken, I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of curds. This curds or dahi will keep the chicken mince nice and moist. Along with that, 1/3 cup of green peas. You can increase the quantity of green peas too. Now mix that as well. Next be adding half a teaspoon of salt and 1 chicken cube. In place of Maggie cube, you can also use half a teaspoon of Aromat seasoning. You can adjust the spiciness and the salt according to your taste. This chicken mince filling, it's a bit spicy. but it goes perfectly well with the patties. Now we'll mix everything well and we'll just cover this chicken and let it cook on low flame. We will let the chicken mince cook for around 8 to 10 minutes and also need to keep stirring this in between. The curds have left the juices, so that helps in cooking the chicken as well. So after 10 minutes, the chicken mince is well cooked. Next, I'll be adding half a teaspoon of Garam Masala powder and 1 teaspoon of Kasuri Methi. Just crush the Kasuri Methi with your palms and add it to the mince. Mix that as well. So now we will just cook the chicken mince for 1 to 2 minutes more till it gets a little more dry. So I just cooked this for another 2 minutes and the chicken mince looks done and dry. Lastly, I'll be just adding a handful of fresh coriander leaves. Mix that as well and our chicken mince is ready. Before filling this into the patties, this chicken mince needs to be cooled down completely. So you can prepare the chicken mince well in advance too and then use it whenever you want to fill the patties. So this is done. Let's get back to the dough. I had rested the dough for half an hour. I will just knead this for a minute now. The dough becomes nice and soft and it will be easy to roll out. So I'll just roll it up and divide this into 3 portions. In the previous recipe, I had taken 2.5 cups, but in this recipe, I have just taken 2 cups of Maida. So I just divided this into 3 parts. And then I'll be just rolling it round so that it is easy to roll out again. While you're working with one piece of the dough, keep the other 2 dough well covered. Now with the help of a rolling pin, I'll just roll this out into a very large chapati. I will roll this out really very thin, but not so thin that it tears as well. So just flatten it as thin as possible so that you can lift it up as well. So rolling this would be around 10 to 11 inches round. When the dough is rested well, you'll be able to roll this very easily. So I just finished rolling this one portion and you can check out the thickness and you can check out how fine this is. So before placing this over the plate, I'll just dust it with some Maida and then just place the large chapati over it. We'll be piling one over the other on this plate itself. So just keep this side and roll out the second dough as well. In this video, I'll be showing you how to fry it as well as baking. I'll also be showing how to freeze the ready patties and also how to fry them once out of the fridge. So I've rolled out the second portion as well and I'll just keep that aside. And now it's time to spread the corn flour mix. You can see it's become a little bit thick. So just mix it once again and it will get loosened up and become soft. So you can divide this corn flour paste in 3 portions and then just spread it over the first one. I'm just spreading a thin layer over the first chapati. This will give the nice layers to the patties. You can also spread this with your hands. And once that is done, just place the second roll out chapati over the first one. You can stretch it to reach all the corners of the previous chapati. This is nice and easy method of making patties at home. Make these with the oven and without the oven as well. So after placing the second one, I'll just press a little so that there are no air bubbles in between. And once more, I'll be applying the corn paste over the second chapati as well. So today I'll just be making one single roll and be layering all the 3 chapatis one over the other. So once this is done, we'll just keep this aside and roll out the third portion as well. On my channel, you'll also find other puff pastries recipes as well, which are also very easy to make. I'll put all those links as well in the description box. So here I have placed the third chapati over the previous 2 chapatis as well. And just stretching out from the sides so that it covers the previous chapati. And now I'll just lift all 3 of them and put it on the table counter so that we can just roll it out once more. So in this way, we get a nice even out dough and no air bubbles in between. I'll just roll it out once more on the other side as well. So I just flipped it over and just roll out a little bit. So I'll be applying the last portion of the corn flour paste. You can apply it on either side of it. It doesn't matter. Just spread the corn flour paste evenly. This is done. Now I'll start rolling from one end and slowly take it towards the other end. Try to roll it as tight as you can so there is no air bubbles in between. And once this is rolled, I will just pinch the ends so that the corn flour paste does not come out. Now to make the log even, I will just start pressing it from the center towards the end so that it is not thick in the center. Okay, so now once this is done, we will start dividing it into smaller portions. In today's video, I'll be stressing more on how to bake them, as I've already showed you how to fry them in the previous video. So here I have cut a little smaller pieces as compared to the previous video. And you can see the layers. This time I'll be pressing it on the layers itself. And after pressing a little with my hand, I'll be just rolling it on the same place again. Actually, this time I'm rolling it on the layers itself. So this time we'll be making the rectangular shape of pattice. And if you find the corn flour coming out, just dust a little maida and roll it. So now I've just got an oval shape, and to make it into a rectangle, I'll just cut the 4 edges. So once I've got the rectangle, I'll be just applying little water with my fingers on all the 4 sides. For the butterfly pattice, I had rolled on the sides and not on the layers. The layers were put towards the end so you could get the nice butterfly effect. So I just added the chicken mince filling which we had prepared on one side and just folding it over, just pressing it a little bit. As we will be baking some of these, there is no problem in sealing it well, just press it a little will do. As these will be baked, so there is no fear of the mince filling coming out. We'll cover and keep this as we roll out the others. But if you want to fry the same ones, you will need to roll it out a little thicker. So after you have made the long log, just cut the pieces a little thicker as shown in my previous video, so that when we roll it, the layers do not tear and you're able to fry it with ease. So the only difference here is when you want to bake it, you can roll it thin, and if you want to fry them, you have to keep it a little bit thick. Because while frying, the layers will open up and there are chances of the mince filling coming out. I'll also be showing some which are fried. So I have just rolled out some a little bit thick and some which are going to be baked. I have rolled them a little thin. However, if you like the thick coating outside, cut the pieces thicker and roll it thicker too. So you can check out the pic here up. You need to cut those pieces a little bit thicker. So you can continue making all of the rest of it in the same way. So now first, I will just show you how I'll be baking these. So I've just put some on a baking tray and I put a parchment paper down. And I've just beaten 1 egg here and I will just brush them over with that egg. This will give a nice golden color once they are baked. We can also brush this with some milk. You can also add some veg filling inside it. You can check my previous videos for some veg fillings recipes. So you can use the same method and make some veg puffs too. So while I was making these puffs, I had preheated my oven for 10 minutes at 190 degrees centigrade. You will need to keep both the heating coils on. So now this I will bake in the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes till it gets a nice golden brown all over. You need to keep a check on this after 12 minutes as different oven varies in heating. So if you want to freeze some and want to keep some leftovers for the next time, you can just put it in a freezer safe box. You can just place these in the box in between the butter papers. You can keep them in the freezer for at least a week. The chicken filling has got all fresh ingredients. It's best to use it within a week. Put another butter paper and then seal it tight. So you can keep this now in the freezer for 1 week at least. Keep watching. I'll be showing at the end of the video how to fry these as well. While some of the patties are getting baked, let's fry some of it too. I just dropped a small piece of the dough into the oil. You can check the oil. It's very low, it's not bubbling hot. I heated the oil on medium heat and then reduced the flame to low. So all throughout, I'll be just frying these on low flame. It will take approximate 8 to 10 minutes. When you fry these on low flame for longer time, the layers start opening up. Don't be in a hurry to increase the flame to fry them quickly. They might not puff up and they might also be raw from inside. You can use a larger pan to fry more puffs at one time. Give these puffs a little time and flip them in between so that they get a nice golden brown on both the sides. So if you need to deep fry these patties, just keep those pieces a little thicker and roll them thicker too. So there is no fear of the filling coming out while they are being fried. So these are fried well, and it just took me around 10 minutes to get this perfect golden color. So you can take them out and place them on a kitchen absorbent paper. So let me show you the ones which were baked too. This took me around 20 minutes to be baked. I will let this cool on the cooling rack and then break and show you how it is. So here are the fried ones and the baked ones as well. So using this recipe and technique, this is good for baking and frying as well. This was the fried one and these were the baked ones too. The baked ones too are also nice and crispy. So now let's break the baked one first and show you. So I hope some of your baking queries are solved and you can go ahead and bake them as well. So let's break the fried one too. So now you know the difference when it's baked and when it's fried using this method of making the puff pastry. If you need a recipe to make bakery style easy puff pastries at home, I'll put that link too in the description box below. And now it's time to fry the ones which I had kept in the freezer. I had kept the box in the freezer for 3 days, and when I wanted to fry them, I just took the box out from the freezer and kept it open and let the puffs come up to room temperature. And the same way how we had fried the earlier puffs, these two I'm frying it on low flame for around 10 minutes. So here I will fry them till it's nice and golden brown. So these are ready and you can see it's quite good. So now you can go ahead, make your puffs and freeze them and fry them whenever you want to. As said earlier, we have used lots of fresh ingredients in the mince filling, so it's best to use it as soon as possible. So I hope with this video I'm able to solve some of your queries. And if you do like this video, do like, share and subscribe to Garfin's Creation. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon again in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.